On this episode of Ask Dan, we're going to talk about whether or not you should buy the Surface Pro now or wait till it goes on sale. And what about Surface Phone? Is that a thing, or should you go buy an Android phone? Stay tuned. So for the first question, should you buy a Surface Pro now or wait until Black Friday and the holiday season? In other words, will there be significant discounts? All right, so for this answer, we're going to go by the past. Microsoft typically does not offer substantial discounts on its Surface series, unless, of course, it's about to get rid of it and replace it with a new version. So for the Surface Pro 2017, which only launched at the end of June, I do not expect to see any significant discounts. That favors the option of buying it now instead of waiting. However, I believe there will be Black Friday deals. What's going to happen, though, is you won't get a discount on the Surface Pro itself. They will offer packages, though. So you may be able to get the type cover for about $10 off. Or maybe they'll throw in a pen with a discount, or maybe some other accessories like a case or something. Now, some of that won't be important to some of you. For instance, a case you may not be interested in, but you will be getting more for your buck. So there will be deals going on for Black Friday. We'll, of course, cover those on Windows Central. And if you can hold out for just a couple more weeks, I suggest you do. Now that Windows Mobile is officially dead, is it worth it for developers to try to get into the Universal Windows Platform ecosystem? So I like this question a lot because I'm asked it all the time. Does UWP make sense without a phone strategy? Now, I've written an editorial in the past saying, no, it really doesn't, or rather, it would greatly enhance Microsoft's position if phone existed. Don't forget, they were supposed to be at 1 billion Windows 10 devices at this time, and instead, we're at over just 500 million. Why is that? It's phone. So, to answer the question, though, UWP still does make sense. Don't forget Xbox. Now, with the fall update, a lot of that is UWP. Look at the new Spotify app. That is UWP there as well. So for that system, you do need it. Don't forget Windows 10 as well. Windows 10 on ARM, which will be able to run Win32, can also do UWP. The Universal Windows Platform is Microsoft's future to build across systems. Make no mistake about that. Windows Mixed Reality is based on this concept and idea. Now, we can argue whether Windows Mixed Reality will be niche or go mainstream, but it does rely on UWP. You also have Windows IoT. Everything around Microsoft and what they're doing is based on UWP, so it does make sense. However, there is a big gap without phone. There is no mistaking around that issue, and Microsoft will have to work hard to make up for it. But I still think it makes sense for devs to get on board with UWP. It's going to continually improve. I expect next year at Build, we'll see even more APIs come online. We'll see more around bridges. It's just going to keep on going, folks. So UWP is here to stay. There is zero chance I think they're going to cancel it at any time. Is there hope that a Surface phone will be available in the near future? Or should this be our wake-up call? All right, folks, so let's tackle this one, as I know many of you are interested in this. Now, as far as we know, there is no actual Surface phone in the works. There have been many experiments in the past. Some of them were covered by our own Zach Bowden on Windows Central. You may have seen some of the prototypes that we have revealed that have come along, that Microsoft was experimenting with different types of phones when Windows 10 Mobile was still a thing. As far as we know, there are no phones, though. Instead, what Microsoft is going to do is try to create another category. And this is a hard concept for many people to understand, but I'll try to put it to some context. Whatever device they come out with will not replace or look to replace your iPhone or Android device. Why? Well, Microsoft released a brand new Surface phone right now. Would any of you actually buy it? Of course not. Why? There's no apps. It's the same issue it was last year and the year before that and the year before that. So they know they can't win that strategy, which is why they canceled Windows 10 Mobile and why they sold off their entire Lumia assets, so they wouldn't have to actually make a phone. So what will they make? Well, if you look back to the Courier concept a few years ago, that was an active project that they were possibly pursuing, but it got canceled. Well, look what they're doing with the Surface line right now. Look what they're doing with Windows 10 ARM right now. Look what they're doing with pen and inking. I think you're going to see a foldable device that fits into your pocket, that will expand with a larger screen, work with a pen, run Windows apps, UWP, possibly Windows 32, we don't know yet. And it's going to be a device you carry around in addition to your phone. Now, a lot of people are going to say, well, why would you do that? But that's because a lot of people will need extra horsepower to do other things, whether it's inking, it's taking notes, whether it's pulling up apps and websites. They're going to want something bigger. But let's be clear about this. This is not a play that's going to be for all consumers, like an Android device that costs $300. This is going to be a niche product for people who are productive, who need something on the go that's a little bit more powerful, in addition to their smartphone, but maybe they don't want to carry around a full laptop or a tablet. That does make some sense, but don't forget this is a small risk for them too. They're not going to compete against Apple or Android for a phone space. What they're going to do is create a new category device. Now, whether or not it's actually intriguing enough for you to go buy it, that remains to be seen, and that's all on Microsoft to prove that they can do it. But let's look at the hardware they have been creating, especially with Surface Book 2, Surface Laptop, HoloLens, Surface Studio, and on and on. They've been doing some really impressive stuff, and they don't really release it until they think it's something unique on the market. And I think that's what we're going to see here. However, there's no timeline on this. We're hearing 2018 along with Andromeda and Seashell. But none of that is written in stone yet, so we're going to have to wait and see. But the short answer, there is no phone coming. So go buy an Android phone, go buy an iPhone. You'll probably have a lot of fun with it for the next few years. So that does it for this week's episode of Ask Dan. Remember, if you have a question, use hashtag AskDanWindows on Twitter, or jump into our forums at windowscentral.com where you can actually write a really nice question along with some context. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Take care, everybody. Don't get that on video. That would be a horrible B-roll. Jesus. I know what you're doing, by the way. You probably have like a cadre of just like things Dan has said on video. It's in your blackmail drawer. It's like someday you're going to be like,